Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift Worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift Worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift Worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. David Bannister is watching live today. It's not going to be very exciting, David, I'm afraid, today. I'm doing a very long 2 hours running around London at a very slow pace. I'm just going backwards a minute because I'm going to follow the Greater London Flat Route. And there is a reason for that. So I'm just going to get to the bridge, go down here a bit, and then I'll turn around. Happy November the 1st to you, Ryan Downey. David Bannister says your mishaps will keep us entertained. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope I don't have any mishaps. The mishaps will be me going the wrong way, if anything. The idea is, so what I did a few weeks ago, I went to the real London, the actual London. And when I was in actual London, I ran the Greater London Flat Route. The Zwift Greater London Flat Route in real life. And I filmed it. And so what I'm going to do today is run the Greater London Flat Route on Zwift and record that as well, and then mix the two together into a little film. So that's the plan. So right now I'm trying to head back. If I'm going, I might already be going the wrong way. I need to get to the bridge, which is where I started in actual real life London. And I think I'm going to the bridge. I don't know. Am I? We'll find out when I turn this corner. Yes, here we are, look. So my wife got me at Pinch Punch first of the month, annoyingly today. But incredibly, we didn't even think about doing it until this afternoon. Both of us woke up and normally, as soon as we wake up in bed, it's Pinch Punch first of the month. We both completely forgot about it this morning. David Bannister says you should be using real inclines through run. I don't need runcline, David. I can do the real inclines if I want to, on this treadmill. Right, let's stop it here. But I'm not bothering with. We're not worrying about inclines today. All we're doing is copying the scenery so I can show people. It's not about. This is not a running exercise. It's not about matching the elevation or anything like that. This is just a bit of fun. Right, so this is where I started in actual London. Now I need to do something and I've forgotten what it is I need to do. Oh yes, record. So I'm going to set off my recording going. Where are we? Where's the recording button, for goodness sake? I'm going to delete all my old recordings. Thanks for the ride-ons that are dropping, by the way. Right, now, it does seem like we've got a problem here because I can't record whilst streaming. That's a bit annoying. Automatically delete. Sorry, I'm just going. This is right. So this is your first comedy situation. Is that I can't work out how to get myself to get this to be recorded properly. I know it's all going on to YouTube and Twitch and stuff, but I want a blank screen of Zwift, and I can't. Oh, right, so what happened? Record. Cancel that. Multi-corder. Let's try the multi-corder, see if that works. Bear with me, sorry about this. Now, hopefully, like that might work. Are we recording Zwift? We are. I think we are. Start. Error. anything. Oh, this is so annoying. I don't want instant replay, but I can't get rid of it. And you can't record if you can't record separately if you've got instant replay on. I don't want instant replay. How do I just get rid of it? Okay, I think that's done it. Now we go to multi-corder. Start. Yes! Okay. We are recording. Good. A clean feed of the Zwift screen. So that's good. Excellent. Now, something else to tell you just before we start, hilariously. I'm wearing a Stride. Do you know what Stride I'm wearing? It's the Stride chest strap. This is the old... This is not the very first version of the Stride. It's about the second version of the Stride. The very first version was a clip-on pod that you clipped onto your shorts. This is the second version of the Stride called the Pioneer. Right, and to get my watch set up as well. Sorry, I know this is taking forever, and I'm really sorry, but this session is not for you guys. This session is for me, so I'm taking my time to make sure I get it right and do how I need to do it. Sorry, I apologise. You can chat to me if you want to. Hi Stephen, cool heart rate. 56, I have that while sleeping. Yeah, no, my heart rate's alright. Sense Studio says it'll be interesting to see the clip after you've finished editing it together. Yes, this is true. Right, so we've got foot pod on there. We've got this here. Right, so there is Tower Bridge, and we are now going to start running the opposite direction. So I'm going to start my watch, start the treadmill, and we're going to turn around and start going on the London Greater Flat route. If we can get the turnaround button, there we are. And off we go now. This is it proper now. We're actually going. Oh yeah, David. No, it can't do auto incline. But it can't do auto incline via runcline either. So there are a few treadmills that do connect to runcline and do auto incline. As long as Pascal's got it all back, because he did lose it, didn't he? That whole feature disappeared for a day, and then I think he got most of them back working again. I am seeing Facebook chat, Ryan. My abs, yeah, I know. My abs are hidden underneath the fat. Anyway, yeah, David, the MyRun treadmill sends any incline data that I input direct to Zwift. That's true, but it does not respond automatically to the changes of the grade, even when connected to Runcline. The Runcline app does not support MyRun, and MyRun can't do it. Okay, so I'm watching Facebook chat, I'm watching YouTube chat, and I'm watching Twitch chat. So by all means, drop me a message, say hello. This is going to be a long session, 2 hours at least, of me running through London on the Greater London flat route, simply to copy what I did in real life actual London a few weeks ago. and then when I get myself sorted out, I'll edit that together into a little video. Yes, there is. I'm certainly not trading this one in, but yeah, I may well get a treadmill at some point which can do auto incline through Pascal's app. Jeff Partridge says 2 hours isn't long. Well, not in the grand scheme of things, Jeff, no, but for people sitting watching at home, this is not a race, it's not a workout session, so, you know, I can't imagine it being terribly exciting for people. I need to put my camera angles back on, show people the views. So there's the Tower of London. So we've gone past Tower Bridge, or we've left Tower Bridge, and we've gone past the Tower of London, and we're now going to follow the rest of the Greater London flat route. Now the problem is, some of this I'm going to have to do manually, because what I'm actually on is I'm on the Greater London Loop reverse, and the reason I'm on that loop is because the Greater London flat route, this is so boring, isn't it? I'm sorry. The Greater London flat route has about a 7-kilometre lead in, but for runners it just drops you at the entrance to the Mall, which is where the lead in ends. But I want to run the lead in as well, so rather than cycling from the Mall back to the Tower of London, I got myself on a route which drops me at just about at the Tower of London. So that's why I did that. So I'm not actually on the Greater London flat route. So I need to manually change my directions. And that's going to be the fun part. Right. Okay, the abuse has already started. Jeff Partridge says, yeah, good point. 2 hours of watching you might seem like an eternity. Thank you. And Ryan Perring says, I wouldn't worry, without us, you'd be pretty dull generally anyway. Do you know what? I can't disagree. Half the entertainment is your chat, to be perfectly honest with you. Stephen Smith, good afternoon to you, buddy. Hope you're well. So we run from here, and then I think I have to turn up to Buckingham Palace. No, I have to turn up to Trafalgar Square. And once I'm at Trafalgar Square, I need to go along the Strand, and then come back along the Strand and round a little wiggly bit before I go up the Mall. And then back down the Mall. I need to I'm going to have a look at a route at some point, I think. I might not be able to remember all this. Ryan Perring can tell me. Ryan Perring has nothing to do this afternoon, and Ryan Perring is going to look at the map and tell me where I need to go, like he did for my 100 miler. He's going to tell me all the bits that I need to turn at, exactly where I need to go for 2 hours. You can split screen the football with me. Anyway, who's on the football? Nobody exciting. Everton and Newcastle. Who wants to watch that? Or have they finished now? They've finished now, haven't they? I can't remember who else is playing this afternoon. I'm only going at 9 kilometres per hour. That is desperately slow, isn't it? Probably need to speed up at some point. Oh my God, Man United Arsenal. Let's hope for a dull 0-0 draw, shall we? A really boring 0-0 draw. That'll be fine for me, thank you, Ryan. If you could organise that. Neil, hello, buddy.
Nice.
Ryan, yes, you can. Is it the same in the States then? Is it just depressingly dark really early where you are? Oh no, I've frozen on screen. Why have I frozen on the screen? What's going on there? I haven't frozen in real life, it's just Zwift. Oh no, this is a disaster. Why is Zwift doing that on the stream? Everton lost, good. That's good. Right, the stream is really, really laggy, isn't it? I'm sorry about that. Well, there's the Zwift portion of the stream. That's not good at all. My Zwift is very smooth in front of me, so it's nothing to do with my internet connection or anything like that. It's something to do with the computer, and I'll bet you. U-turn? Why do I have to do a U-turn? What are you telling me? Have I gone wrong already? Right, hang on. Have I gone wrong already? We need to sort out Zwift here, don't we? Because Louis, I'm doing this route because I did it in real life and I want to match it on Zwift. Right, this is frustrating. Why is the stream doing that? I'll bet it's just because I'm recording it, isn't it? It's just because I'm recording it that it's going slow. It's taking up too many resources on the computer. That's what's happening, which is annoying. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry. Okay. No, I'm not. Well, I won't go back. I'll just have to choose appropriate bits. Right. What I'm going to do then? We'll just have to take it from the live stream and not from a recording. I haven't got the computing power. Let me stop the recording. Actually, maybe if I do the recording in a lower resolution. Stop the recording. Put it on MP4. Bitrate of 20. Start. Right, so it's a lower resolution recording. Maybe that'll be better. Okay, let's go again. Yeah, okay. It's still not good, is it? It's still choppy. Owen Casey, Everton lost, which is good news because it means Liverpool stay on top of the league. Even after only 7 games. Right, is that acceptable or is that still rubbish? Oh no, not that. That's still choppy, isn't it? Right, we're just gonna have to get rid of the recording, aren't we? I'm just gonna have to do it. I've got a really good computer, and it can't cope with running the Zwift, running the stream, and recording the stream at the same time to a separate channel. Okay. Right, we're gonna have to give up on the recording. Stop again. See, I guess this is entertainment, isn't it? This is entertainment. Okay, stop recording. I mean, I suppose I could try it one more time at a lower resolution again. Let's just go. Right. This is at 8 bits now. So let's see if we can cope with 8 bits. Still, no, it can't, can it? It's still rubbish. Right, Okay, fine. Whatever. Recording stopped. I'm going to take the stream from Twitch or something like that, because Twitch is nice quality, isn't it? So we'll just take it from Twitch, and I'll just edit it the best I can. Right, up to 10 kilometres now. Let's get some running done. We've only done 2 kilometres. I've got about 25 to do, I think. Right, some good football chat going on. Everton are going to do all right this season, though. It's just they can't do better than us. Yeah, Pickford should definitely have had a red card. I think everybody agrees with that. Okay, so the stream looks better now. Yeah, that's a lot smoother, isn't it now? Now, in the real life run, I couldn't go under this bridge. I wasn't allowed. It's blocked off to the public to walk under, so I had to. It was terrible. I had to run along the riverside. It was awful. I'd much rather have run along under a dangerous, dark bridge, dark tunnel. Marty Gorman says, "Great to see Liverpool on top." Sure is. Ryan Downey, Man United against Arsenal. You need to shout for a dull, boring 0-0 draw. In which Martial gets injured. Yeah, just a boring draw. Not Martial, Rashford. Rashford needs to get injured. Yes, the Henderson goal as well. But to be fair, Liverpool have scraped a few results recently. We're not playing well, although we do have some injuries. We're not playing very well at the moment. So we're lucky to be on top, I think. We've managed to scrape some, results by one goal, scoring late in the game after having gone behind. It's happened 2 or 3 times now. Don't say that, Ryan. You will be banned from the channel. Nobody misses Alex Ferguson. Or do you mean Duncan Ferguson, the ex-Everton player? He was fun. Right, so through the tunnel, out the other side, and then we take a right turn up the hill into Trafalgar Square. Marty is going to be back running next weekend. Good stuff, Marty. Stephen Smith, obviously a big football fan. Good lad, Stephen. Okay, here we go, out of the tunnel now. So we're now on the embankment in London. All of this is part of the last few miles of the London Marathon here. So if you ever do the London Marathon, you will go through that tunnel and you will come out this side. And when you exit the tunnel, I think you've got about 2 or 3 miles left to run. 2 miles, I'd say. 2 miles left to run of the London Marathon from here. Ryan Downey has been outed as a Man United fan in the States. Mind you, there are only Man United fans in the States, aren't there? It's like Liverpool. There are only Liverpool fans in Thailand and Singapore and Malaysia. There's no other fans out there, just Liverpool fans. And in America, there are only Man U fans because of David Beckham. Right, I'm hoping I get told to turn right. Running is number one. Now there is the Oxo Tower up there. Actually, I could make this stream even more boring for you guys, but better for my recording. I could just stick my stream onto one view, couldn't I? Would anybody mind if I did that? Just stick my stream on one view. Like that view, and leave it there. Right, I'm going to do that. So this is going to be even more boring for you guys. The screen is not going to change now. I'm just going to leave it like that for the whole run. So, yeah, the Oxo Tower was on the left there. And then also up ahead will be the London Eye, just on the left-hand side. You can't quite see it. Okay, I will, Ryan. When are you coming again? Is it July next year? By then, no doubt, all of our neighbours will have moved out because they're sick to death of me shouting in the shed. You can just make out the Shard behind, in the haze of the sunlight. Right, somewhere along here I need to turn right and head up to Trafalgar Square. But I'm not sure how far along it is. Yeah, I know you were. Where are you coming next July now? But look, you were supposed to be here July gone. Owen Casey says, surprisingly, there are loads of Everton fans in Ireland. Not as many as Liverpool fans, though. Liverpool as a city would have a big connection with it. Well, yes, of course, shipping. And just literally being across the water, it does have a big connection with Ireland, yes. Okay, Ryan. Next July, barbecue in the neighbour's garden, and I will explain football to you. The religion that is football. And David Bannister says, have you thought about doing a virtual ultra to replace your South Downs Way 100? Once people have done James Smith Marathon, there might be others who would join a group event. No excuse if they can do a marathon. Well, yeah. I haven't, I mean, obviously I did the 100 on the treadmill in the summer. So, I haven't got any plans as yet to do another 100 miler on the treadmill, or even an ultra on the treadmill. I mean, I will do it at some point. If I'm totally honest with you, I'm kind of gutted that the race isn't on, to the point that I don't really want to do anything else. I have got a marathon, a real world marathon coming up in December. So hopefully if COVID lockdown is lifted, that marathon is still on. Fingers crossed. So I'll do that. But at the moment I haven't got the motivation to set anything else up because I'm feeling too gutted about that, the 100 being cancelled. You know, I was so ready for it. But there we are, and it's such a good course, and it's a course that I think I could have done my fastest 100 on. Even though it's pretty hilly, I know the course really well, and it is, despite being hilly, it's a pretty fast course. You know, the record is under 15 hours for the 100 on that course, and I reckon I could have got under 22 hours. But there we are, never mind. So if anybody is keeping an eye on where I am, anybody can just give me a heads up when they think I should turn right, because I think I've definitely got to turn right at some point to get up to Trafalgar Square. Yes, Jeff, so in the summertime, the company that organises the South Downs Way 100, in the summer, they organised a virtual event called the One Community event, and I ran a 100 miler then as well. So I've done 3 100 milers this year so far. So I've done my fair share of hundreds this year. But they are organising another One Community virtual run in November, at the end of November. So I might do some of that on Zwift. We'll see. Darren, hello buddy. Boring run today. I'm doing the Greater London flat route as long as I get it right. And making my way round London to copy a run I did in real life. So, okay, Jeff Parker says right turn up Northumberland Avenue. Yes, I believe it is Northumberland Avenue, but where that is, I don't know. I don't know how far along here it is. Oh, I can see a turn. In fact, there it is. Yes, I can see a turn. Okay. So yeah, we've got the right turn, and then we need to go right again along the Strand, and then come back on myself and up a little wiggly bit. I can see it on the map now. I've got it. So you can't actually go straight along the embankment anyway. Looks like you do have to turn up here. There's no choice. You have to turn up here. Well, Darren, I'm not sure how many kilometres. The route that I'm doing is about 18 kilometres. But if I want to be anal and get 100 kilometres of running in for the week, I need to do 25 kilometres today. Whether I will or not, I don't know whether I've got the motivation to do it. So if I do 18 to 20, maybe do 20 kilometres, that'll leave me on 95 kilometres for the week. I suppose that's alright, isn't it? Okay, so here we go, right turn now, up Northumberland Avenue and into Trafalgar Square. Okay, Darren, yeah, cool. Let's do that. That bridge back there was Charing Cross Bridge, by the way, so Charing Cross Station, the end of that bridge, you can see it just there in the distance. That bridge is the railway bridge, and if you're crossing the Thames coming into London, you are about to come into Charing Cross railway station. Right, now we need to sort out where we're going. So I'm not going left. Going that way. No, that way. So we're going along the Strand towards Piccadilly Circus. Then we come back on ourselves. So there's Nelson's column in front of us. No, don't you change on me. Right, I hope we're going the right way. Oh, we should do one soon, Darren. A 5k meetup, yeah. I'm glad you're all recovered, Darren. That's good news. Right, so there's Admiralty Arch behind me. And here we are headed down the Strand, leaving Trafalgar Square behind. So we go down here past Charing Cross Station on the right. Jeff Partridge says, epic fail at Gloucester 24 today. Bailed out after 13 hours, 55 miles with a calf strain. Oh no! So has Gloucester 24 hours been going for 48 hours then? Because weren't there some people running yesterday as well? Has it been like a couple of days worth of that? I'm sure I saw people on the Gloucester 24 like Saturday or Friday or Saturday. And Paul Maskell did amazing, didn't he, with his 100-mile PB, 13 hours something. Fantastic 100-miler. So there's a really good runner, if you don't know, called Paul Maskell, based down in the southwest in Cornwall. And he's run for Britain. And he went to a track the other day. He might still be doing it, I don't know. I think I saw him. No, it was yesterday, wasn't it? It was definitely yesterday. Anyway, he did a 100-mile PB in 13 hours and something. Okay, so Jeff Partridge says the elites started on Friday and the Open started yesterday. 2 lots of 24 hours. Yeah, Paul did fantastically well. Paul wasn't at the Gloucester 24. He was at a track called the Par track or something. I don't know where that was. Right, I've done 5k, so about 9 miles to go. If we do 20k, it's about 9 miles left. When I did this in real life, obviously I wasn't running on the road, I was running on that path by the buildings there, which is all shops. And then you come to this turnaround point, and ahead of you is you're heading towards Piccadilly Circus that way. So we're going to turn around here. U-turn. And we're on our way back. And a little wiggly route on the way back. And then we go round Trafalgar Square and up the Mall towards Wellington Arch, towards Buckingham Palace, and then on towards Wellington Arch. Yeah, okay, Darren. Look, Thursday the 5th of November, we can do a 5k meetup. Yeah, let's do that. Adam Holland did 407 laps apparently at Gloucester 24. Amazing. Oh, okay. You couldn't travel to Gloucester. Okay, fair enough. Xander Dieter said, I'd probably get bored running around a track for that long, probably give up after 1 hour. Do you know what? I've never done a track 24 either. And I probably wouldn't give up after 1 hour, but yes, I kind of agree that unless you want to really go for a time, or really go for a long distance in a fast time, because obviously a track has a lot of spring in it. You're going to be faster and get a better time for a distance on the track. So if you can put up with the boredom, just concentrate on the run and concentrate on your form and your pace, then I could probably put up with it, I imagine. But yeah, it's nothing like, running on the trails in a beautiful place. But I think you're there for a different reason. Vidar, hello to you. He says, what are you running? I'm running a fairly boring thing today. I've just got to do the Greater London flat route to match up with a video I've made of me running the Greater London flat route in real life a few weeks ago. So I'm recording this, and then I'm going to edit the 2 videos together, this video and the real life video, just for a bit of fun. Have a video of me running the same route virtually and in real life. So nothing very exciting. I'm not racing, I'm not doing any speed intervals or anything where I can fall off the treadmill and break my neck or anything hilarious like that. Okay, here we go. Another little bend into Trafalgar Square. So now we need to go up the Mall. We need to make sure that we head into the Mall. So we need to go under Admiralty Arch. Oh, Louis, I've no idea when it'll be up for viewing. I honestly, I don't work to schedules like that really. It's just whenever I get round to doing it is basically the answer to that question. Okay, right past Trafalgar Square and Nelson's Column. And again, in real life, when I did this in real life, I wasn't allowed to run right under Admiralty Arch. I had to go round the side. Admiralty Arch is blocked off to traffic and pedestrians. So I had to go down. Let's go down there. You can see on the left there, and then round the side. So it's better doing it in the virtual world because you can actually go under it. Xander, yes, you're quite right. It is a lot safer. Although, because there's no traffic really on, or hardly any traffic on the Mall, I was able to run right in the middle of the Mall for a few hundred yards in real life. But yes, everywhere else, back-to-back, chock-a-block traffic, so you can't run anywhere near the roads really. Richard Burrows, hello to you, buddy.
Nice.
So Horse Guards Parade, to the left of my avatar, to the right as you're looking. Well, that's not that green bit. It's a bit behind those trees is where Horse Guards Parade is. That's where the Queen does Trooping of the Colour. And the park there is St James's Park. Jeff, you need to search for Zwift Run Live on Twitch. Should be live on Twitch now. Vidar says his legs are totally smashed. Xander, oh no, so you haven't got a treadmill at home. Yeah, that is an absolute bugger, isn't it? For people who don't have a treadmill at home, that the gyms are all going to close on Thursday for at least a month. And we're back in lockdown again here in the UK. Such a shame. I must admit, the original lockdown 1.0, I actually really enjoyed it because it was in the summertime, it was quiet, I just sat in the garden, in the sun, and just enjoyed those 3 months. But this one is going to be a bit more depressing, certainly seeing as I've had my race cancelled, the weather's not so good. It's not going to be an enjoyable month, I don't think. Right, so Kev France is watching me on Twitch. Hi, Kev. So, yeah, Jeff, we're on the Zwift Run Live channel on Twitch. So, St James's Park there, over on that side. And then as we pass Buckingham Palace, we'll have Green Park on the right-hand side, the other side of the Mall. If anybody else wants to try Twitch, there's quite a few people have decided that they like it better than watching on YouTube and Facebook. They say the quality of the stream is better and also the delay is shorter. So if you're interested in going to take a look at the Twitch channel, it's Zwift Run Live over on Twitch. Xander, no, David Bannister was asking me that as well. I've no plans to do another 100 miler on the treadmill. I've done one in the summer. I'm not going to do another one, maybe next year, but not this year. I've done 3 100s this year, so I think 3 in a year is perfectly acceptable. I was going to be doing 4, but never mind. Okay, so we need to head over to the right-hand side of Buckingham Palace and head towards the Wellington Arch. So we've got Green Park on the right, St James's Park on the left, Buckingham Palace and the Victoria Monument right in front of us. And I'm going to head out towards Hyde Park Corner and the Wellington Arch. Thanks, Vidar. Yeah, it's a bit gutting, really, but never mind. What's gutting, really? I mean, you know, I know I'll do that race again, so it's not that I don't get to do the race. In a way, it's just that I had kind of planned for this one to be a special one, and I had trained for 6 months, proper training. You know, at least 100k every week, 1,000 to 2,000 meters of climb every week, ramping it up in the last month before. So I was doing 100, then 120, then 130, then 150 kilometers in a week. So kind of properly preparing to try and do my best ever 100-mile race. So to have it pulled away, that's the gutting thing after all that work. David Bannister has swapped over to Twitch, and he agrees that the quality is far superior. So there we are. So maybe we'll just try and convince everyone to go to Twitch and watch on there, because we want people to have a good experience when they're watching the stream. And if that means using Twitch, where the bit rate is better, then all good. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're so close to the race that we even got our bib numbers in the post. I've got it right here. So there's my bib number. So I was saying, well, now I've got it, what am I going to do with it? So we came up with some vaguely amusing ideas yesterday. Xander, yeah, I definitely would love to do the Bob Graham round. I'd love to do... Oh, now you've put me on the spot, I can't remember the one in Scotland. There's the one in Scotland, there's the one in Wales. I mean, there are so many things I'd love to do. Yeah, it's just, you know, when you work... I mean, this, you know, I work every night, I'm live streaming. And when you have a young family as well, it's not so easy just to kind of sort these things out. But they are all in my plans. Okay, so we're still running with Green Park on the right, and Buckingham Palace grounds over the wall there. The other side of that wall is Buckingham Palace grounds, where the Queen walks her dogs. And then in front of me is an arch. It's not Marble Arch, it is the Wellington Arch. Oh, well done, Vido. Vido's done 100 miles on the bike today. Good job. 5 hours, nice time. So this arch is at the edge of Hyde Park Corner. And round we go. So we're going to head back down now. So just through that arch, a bit further on is Hyde Park Corner. But we're heading back this way. And then we're going to go back in front of Buckingham Palace and out the other side, I think. I might need to slow down and just double check the map. No, David, they wouldn't sponsor an event like that. Ultra running is not really what Zwift is about. Zwift wants to attract casual fitness people, so people who go to the gym once or twice, 3 times a week maybe, people who run for half an hour on the treadmill at the gym, people who run 5Ks and 10Ks and maybe half marathons, and the occasional marathon every so often. Those are the people Zwift wants to encourage, because there are more of them, obviously, than there are ultra runners. And it also costs Zwift a lot of money to have stands at events, and we have had stands at various events before, London Marathon, things like that, but they don't do it every year. We had a stand at the National Running Show in Birmingham this year, at the beginning of this year, but we're not doing it next year because it's too expensive for the benefit of doing it. I really enjoyed it though at the National Running Show, good fun. And I met loads of you guys as well. People came to see us and say hello. We spent a long time running on the treadmill demonstrating Zwift to people, and I think people enjoyed it. We had a massive TV screen and 2 lovely Woodway treadmills. Me and my wife and me and Adam Holland did some demonstrations of Zwift workouts, so it was really good, really enjoyed it. Right, now here's where I need to be careful. Does anybody know where I'm supposed to go now? I think I'm supposed to turn right. I don't think I'm going down the Mall again. I think I'm going to turn right here. Yes, Xander, no 50k or 50-mile races. And they wouldn't, if I tried to put a 50k or a 50-mile race on the Zwift calendar, they may ask some questions about it. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, the Paddy Buckley round in Snowdonia and the Ramsey round in Scotland. Not the Gordon Ramsay round, the Ramsey round in Scotland. Paul Deering says, yes, Zwift had an excellent stand at Birmingham. The host wasn't too bad either. I tell you what, I had a totally sore throat by the end of that. I couldn't speak at the end of that. Richard Burrows has crossed over to Twitch and says, yes, the quality is way better. So there you go. So for ease of use, Facebook is good. But if you want to watch a quality image, then go and have a look at Twitch. Right, so here we go. We're turning right now. What's the MC Milland round? Never heard of that one. So this way we're going to head back down to the river, and then we're going to run along the river and then back up through Kensington and Knightsbridge. If you've joined us a bit late, if you didn't see the very start, I showed off my abs to you because today, just for fun, the chest strap that I'm wearing is the original Stride footpod. Well, it's not footpod. The original Stride power meter. So I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it properly, but that there on my chest is a Stride. Before they invented the Stride footpod, the Stride power meter was a chest strap and a heart rate monitor. And so the power numbers that you're seeing on the bottom right of the screen there, 219 watts, those power numbers are from this chest strap, not from a footpod. But you can't use this chest strap as a speed source like you can with the footpod. So that's the big difference. And the reason the footpod is so successful, because as well as being a power meter, it's also a really good footpod for measuring speed and distance and cadence. Whereas you can't measure speed with the chest strap. So this is Birdcage Walk. So again, we've got St James's Park on the left-hand side. And if you were running the London Marathon, you would run the opposite direction in towards the finish. So you would come down Birdcage Walk with St James's Park on your right, and you would come round with Buckingham Palace on your left and finish down the Mall. So we're kind of running the opposite direction to the London Marathon finish at the moment. When you get to here, you've got about 400 to 500 metres to go. Once again, apologies that the screen is not changing at all. I am doing this stream is not really for your benefit, unfortunately. I'm just recording my route along the Greater London Flat so that I can combine it with a video I did of me running it in real life. So that's why I've stuck the screen on this one view. Normally, if you watch my streams, you'll know that the angles change and we have different cameras and all sorts going on. So just for today, it's a little more boring and a little more static, I'm afraid. Thank you to the Pope for his ride on. Heart rate is okay, we're still in zone 2, so that's good. Really, Jeff, I did not know that. Okay, so Jeff Partridge says, when he first ran the London Marathon back in 1989, it finished on Birdcage Walk. Wow, and it used to finish on Tower Bridge as well, didn't it? So, like before that, in the years before it finished on Birdcage Walk, it definitely used to finish on Tower Bridge, I think. Ace Ventura is up in Aberdeen. Are you in the middle of the North Sea on an oil rig, or are you actually in Aberdeen itself? Well, Xander, I didn't do my first London Marathon until I was well into my 40th year, so there you go. Okay, no, 40th decade, fourth decade. Now, we're not going to Box Hill, are we? But we're definitely turning right here. So yeah, we're turning right. But we're not actually going to go to Box Hill. We're going to go to Knightsbridge and Kensington. Okay, Ace Ventura says he is in Aberdeen, but tonight they are going to sail to the Workfield, the oil rigs in the North Sea. Bad weather on shore, oh my goodness. Well, good luck, buddy. So here we go, passing the Houses of Parliament on the left. Big Ben. In real life, right at the moment, Big Ben is undergoing a huge overhaul, a huge renovation. So it's covered in scaffolding, and there are no clock faces. So again, you get a better view of it in the virtual world than in real life. There's Big Ben, good view. And the other side is Westminster Abbey and Parliament Square. There's Westminster Abbey on your right. And all this area is really heavily fortified. Lots of police presence, lots of barricades. Obviously the threat of terrorism. There are police with guns everywhere. Barricades to stop vehicles driving into the Houses of Parliament. Not like it was in the olden days. Xander says, my older sister goes to uni near there. Yeah, my son's at uni here as well in London. Goes to UCL, which is the University College London.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
BH, thank you. So I need to make sure that I don't turn to go to Box Hill. I need to carry on to go to the Sloane Square turning and up towards Harrods. There we are. Just as I say it, we get the Knightsbridge. The Knightsbridge turn off. Well, no, it's not a turn off. You've got the Surrey Hills turn off to the left, but we're going straight on to Knightsbridge and Kensington and Harrods and Sloane Square and back up to Hyde Park. Okay, so we've successfully made the turning, so we're not going left, we're carrying straight on. Vido says, you have 3 kids, Steve? Yes, 3 kids. Well, no, I have 4 kids. 2 of them at university, 2 of them are still here at home with us at school. I have 2 older boys. Both, one's at university in Bath and one's at university in London. David says, has Victoria given you a list of things she wants from Harrods? No, and I'm not going to ask her, because if I ask her, she will undoubtedly want me to spend hundreds of pounds, and it's not happening. Also, I've got a run to do, so I am not stopping at Harrods. She can ask all she likes, but she's getting nothing on this trip. So there's the London Eye behind, look, in the distance. Very hazy light in London today. Lots of smog around. Xander says, good chocolate at Harrods. Yes, I have been into Harrods. I've had ice cream in Harrods. That was very nice. Now, on the floor, you'll see these blue cycle routes, and in real life they do exist, they are there, and they're on the video that I shot. They're not quite as pristine as these ones in the virtual world, but they are there. David, we've got leftover pizza from last night, she can have that. Plenty of leftover pizza in the fridge. from last night. In fact, I think I might have some of that as well when we finished. About an hour to go, I'd say. 1 hour's left. 1 hour's running left. That's provided I finish at 20k. Because, well, we might have to do 21 just to make it a half marathon. And also, if I want to do 100 kilometers for the week, strictly speaking, I need to do 25k. But whether I can really be bothered to do that, I don't know. Oh, do you know what? I've never tried caviar. I suppose I ought to, at some point in my life, try caviar at least. There are very few checkpoints as good as Mud Crew checkpoints, although Centurion checkpoints and White Star running checkpoints aren't far off, that has to be said. Okay, that comes from another world, what David has just said. David Bannister has just said, I've just fed my badgers. Who has badgers? I've never heard anything more middle class in my life. We found a frog in our garden today. Frog, badger, I don't know. Now, is that MI6 across the water there? No, it's not, is it? MI6 is not there, I don't think. Yeah, Xander says, will you stick to doing 100k or will you do a bit less? I think it might end up being 95k this week. I'll give myself a break. And I'll let myself off the extra 5 kilometres. Although I know that I'll be lying in bed tonight thinking I wish I'd done that extra 5 kilometres. But, you know, we can't be too OCD about these things, can we? Right, okay, so this is one of the greatest excuses I have ever heard for not being able to run on Zwift. I'm sorry I couldn't run the Zwift group run tonight, but I had to feed the badgers. The badgers only come at twilight. So, you know, what can you do? They'd starve otherwise. So I'm missing the Zwift run to feed the twilight badgers. That is an awesome excuse. Okay, so if we're into football, the Chelsea football ground is not far along here. Slap bang in the middle of Chelsea's what's the word I'm looking for? Urban environment, right in the middle of all the housing and flats and shops. The least where you wouldn't expect to find it, basically, is Stamford Bridge, a massive football ground, and it's not far from here on the right hand side. I don't know whether it'll actually be on the Zwift map. I don't think it is. So it's 11 kilometres done, so 9 or so to go. Well, if you, Xander, give your sister a ring, ask her to lean out of her window and wave as I run past. We might see her, you never know.
Ride on!
Oh, Matthias, thank you for the ride on, buddy. another ride on dropping. Richter, thank you.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
I think that's Michael. Is it Michael Richter? Thank you, buddy. Thank you. So this is not the most picturesque part of London, and I remember when I was running it in real life, it wasn't so much so either. So we just have to get this bit over and done with, and get to the turning for Knightsbridge, which is at Chelsea Bridge, I think, by the Chelsea Pensioner Retirement Home, Chelsea Pensioner Hospital. Is it just called Chelsea Hospital? Anyway, by Chelsea Hospital we turn right. David, it fluctuates quite a lot though, doesn't it? If you see, it went up to 250 watts, didn't it? And then down as low as 210 I saw a minute ago, 215. Yes, I agree with you, it is very erratic. But remember, we are using the old chest strap version of the Stride. But I am recording it on my watch with the FootPod version. So I might see if I can do some analysis and see how different the two power outputs are. Still managing to stay in zone 2. 124 beats per minute at the moment. And again, that heart rate is coming from the chest strap, the Stride chest strap. Xander says, are Zwift still doing anything with the VR headsets? I don't think so, Xander. I mean, it was a nice experiment, but the reality of the situation is you certainly can't run with a VR headset on, and it's also very difficult to cycle with a VR headset on because of condensation, sweat. It just destroys the experience, unfortunately. You just can't do a sport where you sweat a lot whilst wearing a headset. Just isn't going to work unless they can find some way to cool the inside of the headset so it doesn't steam up and it doesn't drip with sweat and make it uncomfortable. There's Battersea Power Station on the left-hand side. So we are just coming up to 12 kilometres done. Now, according to the actual route, the Greater London Flat route, all in I think it's 18 kilometres, so we might have to do a little bit extra, just a couple of kilometres extra, just to make up the distance. Richard Burrows, yes, it is a very clean London, you're quite right. You will definitely notice the difference when I merge the two videos together. Certainly this blue cycle path is not really quite so clean and tidy in real life. And I did run along it a bit, because in real life it's a cycle lane, so there's no traffic on it. And when there were no bikes, I jumped onto the blue path and ran on it for a bit. Melanie Shakel, thank you very much for your ride on. So, David, does the National Trust own London now? I wasn't aware. That's a very good purchase for them, isn't it? We'll buy the whole of London and clean it up, and then charge people to enter, like the congestion charge zone. Brianna says, if only London was that quiet. Yes, I know. Xander says there were lots of protests in London last night after the announcement of the lockdown. Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me, to be honest. A lot of people are getting annoyed about it all now, really. You know, you have to be careful, I think, because, you know, people's lives are at stake. But then, you know, you got to look at. We don't lock the place down because how many people die in car crashes every year? How many people die in, I don't know, what else can we think of? You know, comparative numbers. You think of the number of people who die as a result of road traffic accidents in a year. Are we calling it a national problem, an emergency, and we need to stop all road traffic until we can sort the problem out? No. Anyway, I don't want to get too political. It's a very difficult one. Right, there's Chelsea Hospital on the left, over the green there. That's Chelsea Hospital, where the you know those pensioners who wear the red coats and with all the medals on, and they come out at ceremonial occasions. That's where they all live. Chelsea pensioners. And so we are headed away from the river now, and the next stop is Sloane Square. Yeah, I mean, very few people come out this way, to be honest, David.
Right on!
Driver, thank you very much. What? Jeff Partridge says only 5 road traffic deaths per day in the yeah, but still per day. 5 people every day are dying on the roads. Lots more lots more dying of cancer. Okay, coming up to 13 kilometres done now. And there we are, 13 kilometres done. Another 10 XP points added in the background for when we eventually get some new Zwift running levels. Xander says he's had a couple of close calls when he's been cycling. Yeah, I don't go out. Static shock. I don't go out on the roads cycling. I only cycle on Zwift or in closed road events. And the last one of those I did was around London, in the London Prudential Ride 100 a couple of years ago. So we don't actually run past it, but not far away on the left is the Albert Hall, the Royal Albert Hall. We don't quite get to it though on this run, unfortunately. Vida, it's about 18 or 19 kilometres. So we're up to 13, so we've got 5 or so K to go of the route proper. And then it depends if I add a few more kilometres on just to make the miles up a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. Der Chinese says, your long run is 10 kilometres per hour. Not necessarily, Der Chinese. Might be slower, might be quicker. I mean, that's what I'm running at the moment. But it doesn't have to be 10 kilometres an hour. If I want to do a zone 1 run, I'll be running slower than this. See, notice we're in zone 2 at the moment, and we're steady in zone 2. But if I wanted to do a zone 1 run, I would drop it down even slower. I can't imagine there's more than a few people dropping off a mountain every day. Daniel, the goal today is to copy a run I did outdoors. So this route is called the Greater London Flat Route. And a few weeks ago I ran this in real life. We're just going round Sloane Square now. So this is Sloane Square. And out the other side, next stop is Harrods. So I filmed my run outdoors, so now I'm filming this one indoors of the same route. And then I'm going to make a little video to match the two, to mix the two up. Quick dip of the heart rate there into zone 1. Okay, Dave, take care. Hope your badges are all right.
Nice.
See, the less talking I do, the lower my heart rate goes. So we have actually dipped back down into zone 1 now. Always find that, Daniel, when I'm doing my Zwift live streams. If I just shut up for a few minutes, my heart rate comes right down again. Okay, raining in London now, but we're coming into Knightsbridge. Well, we're in Knightsbridge. We're coming up to Harrods, not far away. Yes, Darren, I am wearing a chest strap. You'll be interested to know I'm wearing the Stride chest strap. So one of the original Stride power meters was a chest strap, which is what I'm wearing. I just thought I'd try it. So the power numbers in the bottom right are from the chest strap, not from a foot pod. Xander, no. I've been close. I've caught my foot on the edge once going fast and nearly went. But no, I've been lucky that I haven't ever actually fallen off it. Oh, and also no dead stops today. That's good, isn't it? Or have I spoken too soon? Half an hour to go or so. About 5 kilometres left. And there's Harrods on the right. So we're now heading back along towards Hyde Park Corner and the Ritz Hotel as well. So we're not stopping at Harrods. I'm not going in. I haven't got time. I haven't got my credit card with me. And everything in there is too expensive. But you will find the MyRun treadmill in there. If you want to go into a shop and buy a MyRun Technogym MyRun treadmill, you'll find them in Harrods. At least they were a year or so ago anyway. So we're going through some of the very richest parts of London here. Well, apart from if you go out to the outskirts at Highgate and places like that, this Kensington and Knightsbridge are very well off. And if you were to buy an apartment here, you are talking millions of pounds. Oh no, Xander. Was it your fault? Did you run off like a naughty boy? Right, there's 15 kilometres done. So I think we're looking at about 4 more kilometres to finish the route. If you look on the left, very consistent heart rate, isn't it? Look at that. 123 all the way down, 122, 124, 123. I think my body likes this pace. Nice and comfortable. Xander says he was too busy looking at chocolate and lost his parents in Harrods. Well, it's not unlike London to be pouring with rain. So on the left-hand side now, we're coming up to Hyde Park. So there really isn't very much of this route to go now. Basically, under the flyover, and you should see the Wellington Arch again. Do you remember we ran up the Mall and then up past Buckingham Palace to Wellington Arch? Now we should see Wellington Arch again on the right hand side as we pass it, and this time we'll have Green Park on the right hand side of us, and we'll be heading towards the Ritz Hotel. So this is the flyover or the underpass at Hyde Park Corner. Actually, we might not see Wellington Arch because when I ran it, of course, I didn't go underneath the underpass. I was on top. So you would be seeing Wellington Arch about now. Oh, look, we're on top. Yeah, you would see Wellington Arch about now. So it might be that we don't, when we come out the other side, we won't see it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? So it may look like I'm totally alone here, but if you look on the right hand side of the screen, there are plenty of other names of cyclists, no other runners, but plenty of other cyclists on the course here in London. They're just not near me, so the person behind me is 4 minutes behind, and the person ahead of me is about 50 seconds ahead. Maybe they're approaching me. Right, here we are outside the other side of the underpass now. Let's see what we can see when we get over here. Okay, so yes, we've passed Hyde Park Corner. That was behind us while we were under the underpass. We have got Green Park on the right, but we've passed Wellington Arch, which is back the other way. And we won't, I don't imagine we'll be able to see it. Maybe I can, hang on a second. No, looking back along the road, I can't see it. Okay, so next stop, the Ritz Hotel. Look out for it after Green Park. Look out for it on the right-hand side. Vidar says it's nice to have our personal London city guide tour. Well, hopefully it'll be better when I merge the two videos together. Should be quite good, hopefully. Darren says your heart rate is stable because this is perfectly comfortable for your ultra pace. Yes, I agree. So we're at 10 miles now, so 16 kilometres done. And yes, I guess I would probably, if I was doing a 100 mile ultra, I'd be going slower than this though. But yeah, it is around, say if I was doing a 50 miler or something, this would be my pace, definitely. Is Green Park green? It is green, Xander. Yes. Very green, very nice, very beautiful part of London. Although no greener than the parks that aren't called Green Park. So St James's Park is just as green. Richmond Park is just as green as Green Park. Right. So just coming to the end of Green Park and back to the shops. A lot of riders behind me have all just done 100 miles, look, 77k, 78k, over 100 miles. And they've obviously just finished, all chatting to each other. Alright, on the right hand side is Green Park Tube Station, and with the flags outside is the Ritz Hotel. Darren, the situation here is that we are back in full lockdown from Thursday, although schools will still be open. So leaving the Ritz behind and now heading down back towards well, I think we're going to go on Pall Mall and then back towards Trafalgar Square, round Trafalgar Square again, and we finish running up the Mall. So where are we? 16.5k. So yeah, it is going to be about 18 kilometres or so, 18.5 kilometres maybe. So down this hill, and then we turn left along, I think it's Pall Mall, along Pall Mall, into Trafalgar Square, round Trafalgar Square, back through Admiralty Arch and finishing on the Mall. No, Darren, we are allowed outside to run. So in fact, although all the shops are closed, all the gyms are closed, you are allowed out for exercise. And you can, in fact, also meet a friend for exercise. You can meet one friend to run with for exercise outdoors. So, yeah, you can go out. It's just, for anything non-essential, you have to stay You have to stay home unless it's essential, and they deem exercise to be essential. So work, essential shopping, school, exercise. Vidar, it's supposed to be 1 month. From Thursday, 1 month, but the government have said it could carry on longer. Which puts my marathon in jeopardy, because I have a marathon on the 6th of December. So that would be just after lockdown finishes. So if it goes on any longer than a month, then my marathon will be cancelled as well. Okay, I think somebody can tell me if they look at a map, but I think this is Pall Mall I'm on now, which is parallel to the Mall. So Buckingham Palace is behind me. On the right-hand side is the Mall. Over the other side of those buildings is the Mall, and going up the other way to the Buckingham Palace. Heart rate's gone a bit higher, 132, so we need that to come down. Too much talking again. Oh yeah, look at that, 127. So kilometre 17, I've obviously been talking too much. Heart rate up to 127. Darren is chilling on his bike. IC7, what's an IC7? Darren, I don't know. Xander, yeah, a lot of people are saying they should stop schools as well. Is that just because you don't want to go to school? Richard Burrow says, you talking too much? Surely not. I know. Who'd have thought it? I'm such a shy, quiet, retiring type normally. Maybe I've just come out of my shell a bit today. Uh, 20 kilometres for Darren this morning. Good job, buddy. The rider in front of me has done 180 kilometres, look. Nakai from Japan. Oh, Life Fitness. Okay, cool. Don't worry, Xander, I still have to go to work. Okay, we are not far away from Trafalgar Square again now. Getting closer. And the finish line of the Greater London Flat route is in sight. Richard Burrows did two very windy runs this morning, totaling 21 miles. So we're heading to Buckingham Palace. And there we are, into Trafalgar Square. And that's the last turn I have to take. About a kilometre to go. Darren says, what's your most embarrassing moment which happened on the treadmill? Good question. So, there've been a few incidents. The very first time I ran a marathon on Zwift, I had 2 bottles of Coke stacked up on my right hand side, and I managed to pick up one of the bottles, tip it upside down, spill Coke all over my legs and all over the floor of the treadmill, and I had to run the last 10k of the marathon with a sticky treadmill belt and no drink. There've been a couple of times when I've been running on the treadmill, I've been so desperate to go to the toilet. I've literally had to stop the treadmill and run into the toilet before some absolute disaster happened. And a couple of years ago, I remember going live and I wasn't very fit at all. And I joined a Group A run. And I wasn't feeling very fit. But I decided to go off with the Group A runners and be all macho about it. And I died a horrible death, and I've never died such a horrible death on a treadmill run before. And I literally had to just stop. I couldn't run anymore, and I had to stop the stream and just say, I can't do it, I can't run anymore. I remember feeling that was a pretty embarrassing moment. I just couldn't keep up with the faster runners. Vidar, yes, that was in my old shed, yes. The Coke incident, yes it was. You can still find that on YouTube. Although the streaming quality back then was terrible. So it's very glitchy stream. Right, there we are, 18 kilometres done. So the last little bit now, just up to the finish arch. Do you know what? I just don't think I've got the motivation to run any more than this today. So I'm quite happy to finish at the finish of the Greater London flat route. Vidar says, when you ran your first marathon, did you feel prepared for it? Yes. I ran Paris Marathon in 2012. So a long time. I mean, you know, there's people on here on Zwift who've run marathons for years and years. And we had Jeff Partridge on earlier saying he ran his first London marathon in 1989. But my first marathon wasn't until 2012. And yes, I trained for it and I felt prepared and ready for it. Darren, sushi, go get your sushi, buddy. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you soon. We'll do that 5k, yeah? Right, let's just get to 18 and a half. Xander says sprint the last 5k. I just don't think I can be bothered today, Xander. I'm quite happy having just done what I needed to do. And I'm going to go in and have a nice soak in the shower and a good coffee. And I think we'll finish here. 18.5 kilometres. And that is pretty much the end of the London flat route. I've just pulled the emergency cord out again. Look at that. I need to get that emergency cord stuck in there a bit tighter. Right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. I know it was a tedious 2-hour journey with me. But there we are, finishing with a view of Buckingham Palace and the moon. Let's just close off those camera angles. Oh, the moon's gone now, that's a shame. Okay, done. Vida says thanks for streaming, great to have some chat and some sightseeing. Richard Burrows, great running as always. Thank you, buddy. So I am off to have a shower, and I'll try and edit this video. So again, if you haven't been following along, I've done the Greater London Flat route here on Zwift today, and that mimics a similar run I did, well, exactly the same run I did in real life. So I went and did the Greater London Flat Zwift route in real life about 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago now in the summertime. So I filmed that as well. So I've got 2 videos to merge together to make a little film of the 2 different runs. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Run Club, more than likely. Daniel Jury says, I wish to run 10 kilometres an hour in zone 2 instead of 4 someday. Well, just keep running, Daniel. The more you run, the more your body will get used to running, and the happier it will be. So just keep putting in the miles, Daniel, and your heart rate will come down. You know, all it is consistency, mileage, keeping up the mileage and keeping on doing it regularly, and then your heart rate will come down, I promise you. Right, that is it from me. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow for Monday Run Club or something similar, along similar lines. Right, take care. Thanks very much, Win. Bye, 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 bye.